Less than a month ago, we informed you guys that ASUS ROG is maybe, possibly, probably working on a brand new gaming-oriented smartphone, and we don't want to say we told you so we won't do that. No, I'm not that mature. We told you a ROG smartphone was coming, and boy, you guys even watched that video today because we got tons of views on that, even though like everybody else's like official hands-on video was out. And thank you guys so much for looking at that. But we also got hands-on with it today. Anyways, let's move on to that. The point is ASUS ROG has just made it official. The ROG phone is very real, and if you squint just hard enough, it might actually look like a promising device. And let's actually dive into all the details about it right after our sponsor spot. Our Computex coverage is brought to you by Wootware, Palette, and Fantex. Check them out at the links in the video description. Also, big thanks to MSI for sending us here to Computex 2018. We're excited to show off what their true gaming brand has to offer on display this year. Now, before we get to the actual phone itself, let's take a look at what's under the hood. Okay, so the ROG phone is only the 1000th smartphone to be released with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 SoC this week. The 8-core chip is a speedy one, even at regular clock speeds, but because this is ROG we're dealing with, regular doesn't seem to be an option. ROG and Qualcomm have teamed up to specially bin each and every chip destined to make it into an ROG phone, meaning these formerly limited to 2.8 gigahertz chips are and should be able to hit an impressive 2.96 gigahertz. This binning isn't just for show either, as ASUS claims that preliminary testing shows that the ROG phone is significantly faster than both the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus as well as the iPhone X in various benchmarks. On the RAM and storage front, we've got 8 gigabytes of RAM and either 128 or 512 gigs of storage respectively. We're also given a 4000 milliamp hour battery, which is quite high and something that we were definitely looking forward to if we were going to be getting a gaming phone. And then we also get 2 front-facing speakers so that you can blare all those video games in your ear canals. Now, there's a reason I left the screen for last, and that's largely because it's one of the phone's major selling points. Coming in at 6 inches with a resolution of 2160 by 1080, this AMOLED panel doesn't sound all that revolutionary, but once you realize that it also features a refresh rate of 90 Hertz, not 120 unlike Razer, and a 1 millisecond pixel response time, and includes support for HDR, it starts sounding a whole lot more interesting. And while we're on the topic of interesting, the ROG phone also comes with GameCool, a cooling system consisting of the first ever 3D vapor chamber system on a smartphone, just like they put it on the Xbox One X, and some people called it liquid cooling, but that's not what it is, but it's impressive nonetheless, especially to put it in a phone. So the ROG phone seems to be yet another entry into the dual camera club as well, sporting one 12 megapixel as well as one 8 megapixel camera, while a single 8 megapixel camera has the front covered. But enough about power and functionality, let's get to looks, since that's largely what'll draw most people in our case, push people away. The phone features a fairly large RGB illuminated ROG logo on the rear, which absolutely makes so much sense. We finally got an RGB phone from a company that we actually care about. And then it also has ventilation holes on the back to keep those impressive components that we mentioned earlier nice and cool. The camera and other instruments on the back are designed to look a lot more angular than what we're used to seeing on flagships. As a whole though, the rear of the ROG phone just feels far too busy for our taste. And while we appreciate the RGB implementation, just like any other red-blooded PC gamer, it feels like it's too much here. And while we like the idea of vents helping keep our devices cool, they kind of make the whole thing look much more cheap than ASUS will probably sell it for. It's not, maybe that's not popular opinion, maybe you absolutely love the design, it's just not, we're gamers and not like, hey, here's a great gaming device. I don't know, I'd rather take the Razer phone aesthetic where it's just like, it's just the Razer logo and it's just a black square. Like that makes so much more sense. Like if they made the ASUS ROG logo smaller, like the Razer logo, RGB, makes total sense. I'm totally okay with that. But the front of the device is a little less adventurous, so nothing is really there to complain about on the front-facing part of it. Other features of the phone include 2 USB Type-C ports, a 3.5mm headphone jack, squeeze shortcut functionality, shoulder buttons that aren't really buttons, and then you just kind of do that with, and various accessories. So that's right, this thing is built for accessorizing. Don't like it when your headphone jack or charger stick in your hand while playing a game in landscape mode? There's an accessory for that. Want to turn it into a Nintendo Switch? You got it. How about a Nintendo DS? Yeah, we got that covered too. Heck, you can even dock the device connect it to the TV, and then have it act as your desktop. Even with all of its good parts, the ROG phone is yet another gaming-oriented phone that we just don't get it, actually. We love that it wipes the floor with the likes of the iPhone 10 and the Samsung Galaxy 9S Plus, S9 Plus. The performance is definitely there, and we're glad that there's continued focus on improving and tweaking already existing hardware, and the battery life is great. And in case you missed it, we love RGB, but we just can't love this phone too much. It looks too much like something we could win in a lucky packet, and the performance gain, although significant, doesn't seem to us to be enough to justify getting it over any of its competitors. Pricing will be the only way we might see the phone really take off. Then again, ROG isn't exactly known for being the most affordable brand. And then while we're on the topic of discussion, a lot of people have been praising the flexibility of the phone and how you have a dock here and a thing for that, and you can plug it in and you do all of these different things. Every time I can recall a smartphone that has done that, they've all failed. There's nothing about having all of these accessories that users seem to want. We like simplicity. Like, I like gaming on my phone because I can just game on my phone. It would be great to have a dock at home, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna use it, and it just becomes an accessory that just gathers dust. It's not something that becomes a core part of my experience with the product, but then you're paying for it in order to have the experience of the phone. Any product that has to rationalize the use of accessories to justify its own existence and how it can be best optimized kind of screams to me like the phone itself isn't complete, and it's not actually a phone, it's more of a gaming device, in which case, why wouldn't you just get a Switch? Why wouldn't you just get a console? Sure, this can be all in one, but at the same time, I think statistics kind of show us that people prefer to have those things separate, at least at this point. Who knows? Maybe ASUS will have a much better marketing campaign behind the ROG phone than, LG did behind the G5 and G5 and Friends, whatever the crap that was, and that they can actually make this accessory thing work. But to me, this just seems like an over-stereotyped phone targeted to gamers that makes their life more complicated to play games that they simply just want to play easily. That's my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think of the ROG phone. We had a chance to check it out. You guys probably seen it floating around on the internet. I want to hear what you think down in the comments down below or in the community Discord. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this. Feel free to get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content, including our Computex videos that are going to continue to come out. Don't want to forget to thank our sponsors for sending us here to Computex this year. That is Wootware, Palette, Fantex, and MSI. They are bringing us here and allowing us to share all of this hands-on coverage with you guys regarding all of this stuff that's coming out. I am Brett with the UFD Tech channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Computex video. Cheers.